Available for iOS and Android.
Now at 5, an officer-involved shooting in Jasper County sends a suspect to the hospital and has 2 deputies on leave. Plus, a proposed change to Liberty Utilities' fuel adjustment clause could mean a hike to your monthly bill. And
President Trump hosts the president of El Salvador. I'm Erica Brown with what the 2 leaders had to say about the Maryland man mistakenly deported as the Trump administration cracks down on immigration.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A criminal suspect has been taken to the hospital and 2 Jasper County deputies are on administrative leave following an officer-involved shooting. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The injured man is 43-year-old Gavin Newton of Joplin. We don't yet know his condition, but here's what authorities say happened. Jasper County deputies were dispatched to investigate a domestic incident in progress yesterday on County Road 70. According to the report, when they encountered Newton, he was carrying a knife. They ordered him to get on the ground, but he charged at the deputies. They tased him twice with no effect. Then one deputy shot Newton. Authorities say the deputies administered medical aid until EMS arrived. Newton is now charged with domestic assault and assault on a law enforcement officer. The Missouri Highway Patrol is now handling that investigation. The Missouri Public Service Commission is accepting public comment on a request by Liberty Utilities to change the company's fuel adjustment clause, also known as an FAC. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on what customers need to know.
That's right. You have just days left if you want to make your voice heard to a proposed change to Liberty Utilities' fuel adjustment clause. For a Missouri residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours per month, their electric bill would increase by roughly $2.24 each month if the requested FAC change is applied. According to the Missouri Public Service Commission, the FAC requires regular adjustments to reflect changes in prices the company has incurred for fuel and wholesale power purchased to serve customers. Liberty's FAC is reviewed every 6 months. This is separate from Liberty's electric base rate increase request to the Commission, which proposes to raise rates by over 29%. The Public Service Commission is accepting those public comments through this Friday. You can learn how to submit a comment on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Samantha, thanks. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, it actually turned out to be a pretty nice Monday for us today. Had sunshine this morning, clouds this afternoon, but all week long, temperatures kind of mild to warm. So we'll definitely take that kind of warming up through the week. Couple little showers kind of skirting through on Wednesday into Thursday morning. The winds pick up Thursday and Friday, and we do have thunderstorm threat. It could be strong to severe late Friday night, and even lasting into the weekend. Right now it looks good. 63 in Joplin, 65 in Pittsburgh. Most of us low to mid 60s, some upper 60s in northeastern parts of Oklahoma. We do have some clouds kind of skirting through. These will stick around over the next few hours and then kind of break up later on tonight. Also breezy for us today. Northerly winds at about 10 to 20. These will also come down for us later on tonight and then into tomorrow morning. But temperatures kind of cold tonight, near 40 degrees. But that warm up, we're going to look at that here in a bit.
See you soon. City officials in Diamond, Missouri want to remind residents that a citywide cleanup has begun. It goes from today until next Monday. City will make a dumpster available at the city lagoon. Residents needing to use the dumpster after business hours need to schedule a time. For more information, including a list of items prohibited from being dumped, go to KOAMNewsNow.com. President Trump met with the president of El Salvador at the White House today. El Salvador has taken in migrants the Trump administration claims are criminals as part of their crackdown on immigration. The Justice Department filed a court briefing over the weekend claiming it has no legal obligation to return a migrant wrongfully deported, despite a Supreme Court ruling that steps must be taken to bring him back. Erica Brown reports now from the White House.
During an Oval Office meeting Monday, President Trump thanked the president of El Salvador for helping with his administration's mass deportation efforts.
We have millions of people that should not be in this country, that are dangerous.
The visit comes one day after the U.S. sent 10 more migrants who the White House accused of being gang members to a notorious prison in El Salvador. And the Trump administration insists that there is little it can do to bring 29-year-old Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. The Maryland father was deported to the prison after an administrative error. The White House maintains he's a gang member. The Supreme Court ruled the administration must facilitate his return.
If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane.
But Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele says he has no intention of sending Abrego Garcia back to the U.S., even though he was never charged or convicted of a crime.
Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States?
During the meeting, President Trump also said he'll explore legal avenues to potentially deport U.S. citizens to El Salvador if they commit crimes.
If we can do that, that's good. And I'm talking about violent people. I'm talking about really bad people.
As the administration's immigration crackdown faces more legal challenges, a federal judge in Vermont Monday considered whether to release a Tufts University student detained by ICE and accused of engaging in activities in support of Hamas. Rumeysa Ozturk says her arrest violates her free speech rights. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Ozturk is currently being detained in Louisiana. Still ahead, learning about the facts of flight.
Separating perception from reality. I'm Michael George with the facts on flight safety.
And next in Health Watch, a Stanford doctor turned cancer patient is now turning his diagnosis into a lesson for students. Some encouraging news about the effectiveness of a popular weight loss medication. The European Association for the Study of Obesity found the drug tirzepatide, which is marketed as Zepbound or Mounjaro, can help people lose weight for up to 3 years. Doctors say some patients lost 10% of their body weight, others lost as much as 30%. It doesn't hit kids as hard as adults, but a new study published in JAMA found children who get COVID face higher rates of kidney disease and worse kidney function. The risk is even greater for kids with pre-existing kidney problems. The study says more monitoring is needed for children after a COVID infection. A Stanford professor with terminal cancer is using his experience to educate others. He's teaching a class on dying from lung cancer as he battles a terminal diagnosis of the disease. Elizabeth Cook has more.
Chemotherapy every 3 weeks.
Dr. Bryant Lynn has been a physician and a professor at Stanford University for almost 2 decades. But this time, he's not only the teacher, he's also the subject.
I'm still getting chemotherapy every 3 weeks.
In 2024, Dr. Lynn was battling a bad cough for months. A CT scan revealed non-small cell adenocarcinoma, never smoker lung cancer.
I ended up having stage 4, which is the most advanced stage.
The news was a dose of cruel irony. Dr. Lynn co-founded the Center for Asian Health Research and Education.
One of our priority areas is lung cancer in people who have never smoked because it disproportionately affects Asians and particularly Asian women.
Within weeks, Dr. Lynn was in a chemotherapy infusion chair, receiving the same treatment he counseled his patients and students on for years. It was here that he saw an opportunity. The class is called From Diagnosis to Dialogue, a doctor's real-time battle with cancer.
Deal with a lot of the ethical considerations.
Isabella Hefferman was one of the lucky ones to get a seat.
I was just really in awe in how well he's able to discuss this and just the bravery.
The 10-week course covers the entire spectrum of cancer, as seen through the eyes of someone who is living it.
And some patients don't want to engage. They don't necessarily want to know all these details.
Each week, a new topic and guest lecturer.
Heart disease and cancer are the leading causes of death in the United States. So this is going to impact somebody you know, maybe yourself.
Dr. Lynn plans to teach his class for as long as he can. The syllabus, like his cancer journey, may change, but his mission remains the same. Elizabeth Cook, CBS News, Bay Area.
And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, scammers thrive in times of financial uncertainty. What you need to know to protect your money amid rising economic concerns.
Plus, our temperatures look great this week, but we do have some thunderstorm chances. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, after a beautiful weekend, temperatures a little bit cooler for us today, but still great. We had quite a bit of sunshine this morning. Clouds this afternoon. There is even a random sprinkle out there, but overall, pretty good Monday. Nice shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperatures not bad. Most of us low to mid 60s. We do have some upper 60s once you get out across the northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Through the evening hours, slow drop through the 60s into the 50s. Kind of cold tonight. We drop back near 40, but we're going to stay above that frost level, which is good news. We've had these kind of northwesterly winds kicking in all day long, kind of breezy, but the winds will also calm down a bit as we go through the overnight hours. A little bank of clouds on the north side of a cold front that rolled through last night. So again, there could be a sprinkle or two, but these clouds are going to work right on through. So after midnight, we'll start to clear out as this storm system pushes off toward the east. And here's at least one chunk of energy of our next storm system, which will start to affect us as we go into the middle of the work week. Let me take you through time. Clouds work out, temperatures cool down. 40, 41, even a couple 30s out there. But again, I think most of us will stay just above that frost level. I don't expect any more frost this year, fingers crossed. Well, until fall, of course. As we go into Tuesday, temperatures near 60 by noon. Plenty of sunshine, not too windy. As we get into the afternoon, most of us 64, 65, 66 degrees, maybe some upper 60s once you get into our western counties. Pretty much clear skies. Stick around Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, but on Wednesday morning, we'll start to see some clouds increasing. There are going to be a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, especially along north of I-44. So here's 10:30 Wednesday morning showers kind of pushing through the region. Again, mainly our northern half of the area. And then once we get into the afternoon, I think most of us warm into lower 70s for highs. Those showers push east. And then by Thursday morning, I think we'll do it again. We'll get some showers and a couple thunderstorms that start to get going across the region on Thursday morning. Tuesday day planner, 43 to start, 59 by noon, 65, pretty nice day. Heading late this week, this is when our severe weather chances start to ramp up once again. So we at least have a low threat for severe weather on Friday. Let's go into Saturday. It looks like it suppresses to the south, but we're going to have to watch that northern edge. And then on Sunday, which is Easter, expands back in. I think our better chance is going to be on Sunday morning instead of Sunday afternoon, unless that storm system slows down, which is very possible. Here's 4:30 on Friday. Here's our front working into our northwestern counties. Thunderstorms explode. Again, strong to severe, and an all-night event as that front just kind of hangs out right on top of us. Periods of showers, thunderstorms, a very wet weekend is going to head in our direction. 65 on your Tuesday, 72 Wednesday morning showers. Morning showers Thursday, but 82, 81 on Friday. That evening and overnight severe threat. Thunderstorms Saturday, thunderstorms on Easter Sunday in the morning as well.
All right, I know you'll be keeping a close watch on that.
Absolutely.
As well as the rest of the weather.
Yep.
Doug, thanks. Coming up, a spike in online chatter about flight incidents has some travelers on edge. Why experts say flying is still one of the safest ways to travel. Topping today's Consumer Watch, scams can strike anytime, anywhere. And as economists warn that a potential recession could be triggered by rising tariffs, fraudsters could already be gearing up to take advantage. According to Members Trust Federal Credit Union, scammers often ramp up their schemes when people are feeling financially uncertain. We spoke with the Regional Better Business Bureau for tips on protecting yourself.
Sort of unsolicited offer, unsolicited text message, anything that you get, research the source and be careful with sharing any kind of information until you're able to verify it.
According to the Federal Trade Commission, scams increased 25% in 2024 compared to the previous year. Today, a mega lawsuit kicks off that could decide the fate of Meta. The Federal Trade Commission is accusing billionaire Mark Zuckerberg's company of stifling competition with its purchase of Instagram and WhatsApp. Meta says purchases were necessary to compete with other popular apps like TikTok and YouTube. Federal prosecutors want the Facebook parent company to spin off Instagram and WhatsApp. New York Helicopter Tours, the company behind last week's deadly chopper crash in the Hudson River, is shutting down. That's according to the Federal Aviation Administration. Right now, the FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating what caused the sightseeing aircraft to fall from the sky, killing a family of 5 passengers from Spain and the aircraft's pilot. CBS News reached out to the owner of the company, who responded, quote, "Our sole focus is on assisting the NTSB in its investigation and grieving the tragic loss of life." Anxiety over air travel is elevated for many people following several recent high-profile incidents, including a belly-up jet in Toronto and a deadly crash in Washington, D.C. But as Michael George explains, the data show it's safe to fly.
Airline travelers are going about their business, but what seems like a string of recent safety incidents has some people more concerned about taking flight.
I feel like it just creates anxiety, basically.
The CBS News Confirmed team shared a recent Storyful analysis showing conversations about aviation incidents were up 243% on X and 71% on Reddit in the U.S. compared to early 2024. And conversations about flight anxiety jumped 72% and 22% respectively.
Usually when one thing catches on, it's just kind of a tumbleweed at that point.
In reality, safety incidents are rare. Last year, there were about 1,500 accidents reported among more than 7.4 million domestic flights. That's less than 0.02%.
We can go 2 million flights before we would expect a serious injury to occur.
Retired pilot and aviation expert Kit Darby says the digital age is making mishaps top of mind.
We have color video almost instantly of any problem that occurs. And that makes it so much more real, it makes it more exciting, and it makes it seem more prevalent. And when actually it's not. Statistically, our accident rate has been going down steadily since the 70s.
Experts say one way to deal with any emotional feelings about flying is to counter them with facts, namely that flying remains extremely safe. Some simple things you can do on board: wear your seatbelt all the time, pay attention to announcements and crew instructions, and leave your carry-ons in an emergency.
I have 2 things that I do. I glance in at the cockpit when I walk in, and I always pay attention when they tell us just because it's rude to just not pay attention.
One more precaution: always know where the nearest exits are. It might not be the door where you entered. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Some more facts to make you feel better. The FAA says there are around 45,000 flights in the U.S. daily and an average of 2 accidents per day. Now, those aren't all passenger planes, and even an equipment issue that grounds a plane is included in that tally. Final check of the forecast up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, when do we all get a chance at space tourism? Then on KOAM News at 6, more on why Liberty Utility customers might have to pay a bit more soon. Plus, what happened when no one got a majority of votes for the mayor's race in a southwest Missouri town. And Diamond, Missouri high school softball. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. CBS Morning co-host Gayle King reached new heights today as part of the first all-female crew aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. They reached a height of just over 60 miles, the internationally recognized boundary of space. Pilot and journalist Lauren Sanchez organized the group at the request of her fiancé, Amazon and Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos. The historic crew was in flight for about 10 minutes, including about 3 minutes of weightlessness.
Pretty cool.
Yes, it is. And more people getting an opportunity to do that as tourists now.
Yeah.
The weather looking okay at the moment.
Yeah, it looks pretty good as we go through the next couple days. Our high temp for us today near 70, and we're going to warm up even more as we go through the week. But we do have to watch thunderstorm chances returning late this week.
All right. I know you'll keep us informed. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.